The stakes have rarely been higher when Sri Lanka and Bangladesh come up against each other, but they will be high now. There's a lot of pride at stake, and there's a position in the Super Fours for just one of these two teams. Afghanistan sit pretty at the top of Group B. Who will join them? We'll look ahead to the big talking points of that game on Qatar Airways presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout. Farveez, Maharoof and Shahriar Nafees will have a slightly restless sleep overnight. But before I get their thoughts, let's go to Gaurav Sundaraman, who will drive the conversation on what he's observed when it comes to numbers for two teams that have not started the Asia Cup as well as they would have liked.
Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are meeting in a decider. It's very, very important game for both teams. The winner will qualify to the Super Four. But both teams have a very, very similar trend emerging, Ronak. One of the key challenges that Bangladesh and Sri Lanka face is with their opening pair and the power play performance. Since Jan 2021, it's very, very low. It's one of the lowest among all the test playing nations. Sri Lanka's batting strike rate is about 113, the openers, whereas Bangladesh openers strike at 101. And they don't even average so much. They average 22 and 16 respectively. Then I go one step further and look at their power play performance. Bangladesh strikes at 96 and Sri Lanka strike at 102. And they average also very less. What is more interesting, Ronak, is that the dot ball percentage, Bangladesh is 51 and Sri Lanka is close to 50. That means out of 6 overs, 3 overs are dot balls. That is too much for the top class T20 team, right? For both those teams are struggling at the top. The key aspect of that game is going to be who is going to win the power play. I think the team which wins the power play have a very good chance to win the game.
All right, brilliant as always from GS. So two batting lineups, fair to say, that are far from firing and not in the form that they would like. Let's go to Farveez Maharoof first up, which Sri Lanka is batting. Let's talk about both personnel and approach. Dasun Shanaka had quite a bit to say, Farveez, after that defeat to Afghanistan about his top order batters. Now, we did see Nissanka and Mendes walk out, the two right-handers. We saw Gunatilaka bat 4. Firstly, are we expecting a change in personnel in this game against Bangladesh? And how would you change things up? Looking at GS's numbers, lots of dot ball percentages, poor power play, big pressure game. What would you tell that team?
Yeah, the good points made by GS there. I think it's all about character. I mean, GS he was spot on saying that too many dot balls in T20 cricket, teams who plays more than 35 dot deliveries, most of the time they lose games. That's why I think Sri Lanka and Bangladesh both hovering around at the bottom of the table simply because the dot balls have been too much. When it comes to the personnel, I don't see much changes happening. And the biggest surprise for me was Dhanushka Gunatilaka batting at number 4. I've never seen in his international career batting at number 4. All of a sudden in Asia Cup, with the World Cup round the corner, batting at number 4 was a huge risk. I mean, yes, he scored runs, but too much chopping and changing the batting order doesn't look good. And when it comes to change of personnel, I only see myself getting Dhananjay De Silva into this team. I'll tell you why. Because he bowls a bit of off spinners and he's very effective in the power play. With Shakib Al Hasan and the other left-hander opening the batting for Bangladesh, I think that's a tactical move that Sri Lanka can go. But apart from that, the top 6, I don't see any changes happening. I think if Dhananjay De Silva comes in, I have to make a call between Pathum Nissanka. I think that's the biggest call we can make because Dhanushka can open the batting with Kusal Mendes and have number 3 position to Charita Salanka, and Dhananjay could bat at 4, or Banu Rajapaksha can bat at 4. Dhananjay can bat at 5, and Dasun Shanaka bat at number 6. So that's purely tactical because Sri Lanka don't possess an off spinner against the 2 top order left-handers of Bangladesh. But apart from that, I'm not a big fan of chopping and changing too much. So, it's a very tricky call, do or die game, big game, pressure game. It's all about having that mentality of, going out there and expressing themselves. And experienced players should come out and, put their hands up in these kind of games.
All right, let's go to Shahriar Nafees now. And Shahriar, we did see a similar problem in that game against Afghanistan for Bangladesh's top order. Mujib and Rashid really spun a web around them. There were a lot of dot balls in the power play. You had Anamul Haq dismissed 5 of 14, looked like a struggle. He's going to be up against Thikshana, later Hasaranga. What sort of approach do you think Bangladesh should adapt differently from what they did in the first game?
The venue will be changed. So both the teams are going to play the decider in Dubai. First of all, Bangladesh needs to do all the basics right. Too many dot balls up front is not going to help us. If this similar situation comes, The batsman needs to stay there so that they can go to the last 6 overs with a lot of wickets. If you lose wickets early and then you try to build up the innings, you're not ending up scoring a big total. We have seen Pakistan scoring 148 and India chased down in the last over. So I'm pretty sure that this Asia Cup will not be a high scoring tournament. I would love to see Bangladesh scoring somewhere around, if they bat first, scoring somewhere around 150, 55. And I still believe Bangladesh has enough firepower to defend the total. And if Bangladesh bowls first, I want my bowlers to do the basics right. And if Bangladesh do the basics right in a crunch game, definitely the Sri Lankan, because they are not that experienced side, might make mistakes and Bangladesh could catch in.
I just want you to tell me who goes into this game as favourites. Can we pick one? Sri Lanka or Bangladesh? Farveez?
I'll prefer the underdog tag.
All right, so you're saying Sri Lanka's the underdog, so Bangladesh are favourites, and you prefer it that way. It's a very clever answer.
I'll prefer it that because Sri Lanka plays well when there's nothing to lose, everything to gain.
I'm gonna go with my friend Farveez. We would love to see the underdog team and coming
So
out
both of you
winners.
want to be underdogs. Yeah, okay. This is awesome. So that tells me I have no idea who's going to win tomorrow after speaking to two of you. But thank you very much, Farveez and Shahriar. We will build up to this game on Qatar Airways presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout. It is a big game, so do join us then.